Standing out in a crowded marketplace is tough. Building a personal brand to support your business, even tougher. Introducing additional income streams? Ha! Pipe dream. Maybe not. Listen in and discover how to do all three.
Welcome to the Small Business Big Marketing Show, where successful small business owners share their secrets to take your marketing to the next level. Now here's your host, Tim Reid.
Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of Australia's #1 marketing show. I'm your host, Timbo Reid, but you, right there, so much more importantly, are a motivated small business owner ready to crank out some great marketing. And that's what we do around here. So let's get stuck in. Big show today. Very big show. Got an update from a past guest who his marketing efforts have turned his business around of recent months. He's doing some amazing stuff. He's built a media profile. He's added additional income streams and increased sales. Really interesting fireside chat coming up very soon. Got a listener question on how to leverage awards. Great question from a vet. Got some beautiful feedback from a listener. And I've got another marketing quote of the week.
Small Business Big Marketing with Tim Reid. smallbusinessbigmarketing.com.
Now, as you know, this show is made possible by the very good folk at Net Registry. And I want to know, on behalf of them, how is your website working for you? I assume you've got a website. If you haven't, get one. No excuses there. If you have, is it performing the way you would love it to? If it's not, get it fixed. You're probably leaving money on the table by not optimizing your website. And by optimizing it, I mean, having the right hosting, having the right CMS, content management system, preferably WordPress, and a great design for your website. One that looks great, one that moves fast, loads fast, one that does what it should, and that's optimized for the search engines. So your metadata is kind of sorted out. For example, getting a bit geeky there, don't worry. netregistry.com.au is all you need to know. They help you get your online marketing sorted, and they get your website sorted big time. So head over to netregistry.com.au and tell them Timbo sent you. Righto, let's get stuck into a listener question. This is a ripper. This is from Paul Rutherford of vetlounge.com.au. He says, "Hey Timbo." G'day Paul. He says, "I've got a question about how to leverage our business achievements. We have started 3 veterinary clinics in the past 4 years. Crazy, I know. Good on you, Paul. We've worked hard on our marketing and developing our brand and believe we are doing an okay job. Always room for improvement." I reckon you're probably doing a really good job, Paul. Gee, we can be harsh on ourselves. We can be so harsh on ourselves. Always comparing our worst to others' best. Huh? Do you do that? I can find myself doing that. It only creates pain. I would suggest stop doing it and give yourself a pat on the back for where you have got to so far in your business. Anyway, I digress. Back to Paul. He says, over the last 3 years, we have entered a number of business awards, mainly as a team-building exercise to build excitement within our staff. What a great idea. Don't even enter those awards with the intention of winning, but building excitement in your staff and getting them involved in the process of entering awards. I think it's a great idea in itself. After entering a number of awards, I'm back to Paul here, now I believe they are also a great way of auditing our business as they each are different questions, as they ask different questions about our business. Hey, there's another outcome of entering an award without even looking to win it, because the questions these awards ask often force you to look hard into your business and maybe even create materials that you previously haven't had, because these awards can be quite onerous in what they want from you. Back to Paul. To our surprise, we have won a number of them. Good outcome. For example, the Telstra Business Awards in Queensland winning for Best New Business, Gold Coast Business Excellence Awards, and so on. My question, Timbo, is this: how can we best leverage these achievements? Thanks, Timbo, for your passion for small business. Any ideas would be great. Cheers, Paul. Paul, it's a great question, mate. First of all, number one, that's first of all, it's all about me, the customer. How does you winning awards benefit me, the customer? That's what I want to know. And if it does, let me know. But don't get up on the roof and shout, we won an award, just for the sake of winning an award. We're very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's all about us. That's the bottom line. I was going to say we're very greedy people. No, we're not. But we are interested in how something a business is doing is going to benefit us. Number two, use the awards. Use the fact that you've won these awards during moments of truth, when clients are in decision-making mode about your business. That could be on your website alongside services, a description of your services that you offer. That's when people are looking at making a decision. It might be a counter card at the counter in your surgeries where people are handing over their hard-earned and they're going, oh, you know what? These guys are good. I'm glad I've got these guys. They've won lots of awards. It might be a sticker on your door reminding people that they are entering a very good veterinary clinic. And it might be on quotes. When you send a quote to a client, remind them that you've won awards, big awards, so that it reassures the client that they're making the right decision. There's a thing in marketing, I've spoken about this before, called post-purchase cognitive dissonance. Big word, but it just is, it's all about reassuring your clients that they have made the right decision. And awards can be good at that. So, Paul, well done, mate, on winning an award. By the way, I love your website, and you've got a slider on there all about an open door policy where people can arrange, you're happy to take people behind the scenes of your clinic at any time. I really like that. It builds trust. Anyway, I digress. Listeners, if you've got a question, send it to me, tim@smallbusinessbigmarketing.com. Even better, join the forum over at crankmymarketing.com. I'm in there every single day answering your marketing questions, and I'm joined by a lot of other motivated small business owners from all around the world. Now, I don't share feedback from listeners every episode, every week. It's just not what we do around here. But when I receive feedback that I think is relevant to helping you grow your business and manage your marketing, I will. And I have got exactly that kind of feedback right now. It's from Kathy Taylor. Love it. She says, good morning. It's very formal, Kathy. Good morning to you, Kathy. I'm an expat from Sydney and I'm now living in Connecticut in the US. I've been a state trooper. Oh, wow. For the past 13 years. And my husband and I have 4 kids. We have a small farm, which I love, and along with all my other hobbies derived from this, I started making soap. Of course you did, Kath. You've got plenty of time on your hands. You've only got a farm, 4 kids, and you're a state trooper? Yeah. We must do that sort of between, 1 a.m. and 3 a.m.? I digress. She goes on to say, people love my soap. So now I'm starting my own company and have jumped into the amazing and intimidating world of business. Hey, Kath, it's only as intimidating as you make it. Don't let it be. Have fun. Be light with it. There's too much heaviness in business as there is. You know what I mean? So put a smile on your dial each time you do something around your soap, which I'm sure you do. Back to her note. I have been reading up on marketing and came across your podcast. I love listening to an Australian podcast. It's good for my heart. Oh, there you go. My podcast is now approved by the Heart Association. I have a heart tick. But I must confess, I feel like listening to your show is giving me an unfair advantage over everyone else. Good on ya! I hope it does. It's certainly my intention, Kathy. There is no shortage of handcrafted artisan all-natural soap, although mine is very, very good. That's very true. You know, like every market is crowded, right? You're going to learn shortly from Darren Finkelstein about sticking your head above the trench and getting noticed and being successful in a crowded marketplace. Never let that stop you having a red-hot go in your business. Now, back to Kath. But what I've learned from you is that I'm not just selling the soap. I'm selling me. In order for the people to buy in, they must have a sense of genuineness and trust. Absolutely. You've got to build a brand, Kathy. And that's why people buy from people, right? That's why Branson puts his name behind Virgin. That's why Gates connected himself to Microsoft, why Jobs connected himself to Apple. You know, like having a personality in front of the business brand as well, I think is a really powerful thing. Again, you're going to hear from Darren shortly, and that's exactly what he's done with his business. They are not just purchasing a bath product, they want to be on board for a whole experience. People want to be part of something important, be treated as an individual who matters. It sounds complicated, but it is actually the basis of human nature. Oh, I like that, Kathy. You are a smart state trooper, come mother, come farmer, come soap maker. I take notes on every show and listen all day at work. I listen to some episodes twice and make sure I hear and understand. I just wanted to thank you from afar and let you know that not only have you given me the confidence to grow a great business, but you've encouraged me to grow into a better, more confident person. Wow, thanks, Kathy. Thanks for letting me know that. That means a lot. Thank you for sharing yourself and your ideas, your great guests, and the portal back home. Kathy Taylor. Be Nice Soap looks like her brand. B as in B-double-E, Nice Soap. Look her up. What beautiful feedback. Lots of learnings there. Thank you, Kathy. If you want to share some feedback, team, head over to iTunes and leave a review, because that certainly helps this program rate well and lets more business owners know about it all around the world. Righto, let's get stuck right in to today's guest. Okay, let's get stuck into this fireside chat, team. It is with Darren Finkelstein of St. Kilda Boat Sales. You can hit Darren up over on Twitter at ThinkBoats. Let him know you heard him on this show. He'd like that. And he's also, his web address, Darren Finkelstein with an EIN.com. DarrenFinkelstein.com. Now, Darren, old mate of mine and past guest. He was on episode 48 and episode 2. Can you believe that? Go back and have a listen to where he was at then, because he has taken gigantuan leaps forward. Darren is such an action taker. He's also known as the boat guy. He's ex-Apple. You'll hear a little bit about his story if you do listen to episode 48. I'll put a link to that in the show notes of this episode. His recent marketing efforts have been extraordinary, and I'm talking recent as in the last 1 to 2 years. He's developed a solid media profile on radio in Australia. He's added multiple income streams to his business. He's increased the amount of boats he's selling by multiples, all of because his marketing has gone to the next level. And he's going to explain exactly how he's done it. There's a bit of a warning on this. Darren, unlike myself, is full of energy. Let's get stuck into Darren and hear how he is building an empire as the boat guy. George Costanza, welcome to the Small Business Big Marketing Show.
What sort of introduction is that?
I don't know. But
You can't call me George Costanza.
How does it make you feel, Daz?
Oh, mate, look, I got a friend of mine that I call George Costanza because he looks like him.
You're
he's
kidding,
short,
mate. He's
overweight. He's just a little barrel with legs, and I so don't see myself like that.
No, physically, from the shoulders up a little bit, but just general kind of personality. I think there's a little bit of George in you.
Oh, man, oh, man. Okay.
Just go with it, mate.
Yeah, okay, I'll own it if I have to.
Well, interesting question. Who do you see yourself as?
It's a really good question, Tim.
Thank you.
It's a really good question, and it's a question without notice, so I'm actually a bit stuck. I'm not sure who I see myself as.
It might
I know
not
what
be,
I'd like to be seen as.
Yeah, okay. Who?
Oh, look, I like to look up to people like, Kelly Slater is my absolute idol, but, and look at really good guys. And I don't barrack for Hawthorn, I know you do, but look at Luke Hodge. He is just a good bloke. He's a bloke
now
you
we've
trust.
got to explain to overseas listeners, he is just like, I don't know. I don't know how you explain someone like Luke Hodge to an overseas listener. We won't even go there. But Kelly Slater, what do you love? What do you see in Kelly Slater besides an amazing lifestyle that you would love a piece of?
Well, he's had longevity, right? He's been at the leading edge of his industry during a time of significant change. Mm-hmm. He is an absolute clean skin. I mean, when you look at the likes and I used to have a huge level of respect for Lance Armstrong, and of course that all went out the window.
Yep.
But Kelly Slater is a clean skin. He's become incredibly successful by not shoving stuff down your throat, by what appears to be not compromising his values, by just being really good at what he does.
Do you reckon he sledges out the back?
Oh, you know what? I think his presence would scare the living suitcases out of any young grommet surfer that's out the back with him.
Daz, do you I've spoken before to listeners about how, I don't know if I've used the word channel, but I do. I channel Jamie Oliver. I was like, what can I learn from Jamie on an ongoing basis? Do you do the same with Kelly Slater?
Oh, look, I don't think... No, I don't. For me, Kelly Slater is a little... it's not somebody that I've never met. I've watched him
never
surf.
met Jamie.
No, but I think Jamie, you see so much of him on television. You feel like, and watching his 30-minute meal shows and all that sort of stuff on TV myself, I feel like I know him by watching him on telly. Whereas with Kelly Slater, I don't feel like I know him at all. And he's rather a sort of a bit of an enigma for me.
An enigma.
Yeah, and sort of out there, and I find I can't relate to him like I can understand how you might relate to Jamie Oliver.
Gotcha.
Did I explain that well?
You did, George.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. What are you? Who's the other guy? Not Kramer.
I like Kramer. I love how he used to run in through the door and just like, I don't know. He's funny. He always made me laugh. I love what Seinfeld's done. Gee, we're digressing here, but I don't know whether you've seen his YouTube channel, Comedians in Cars. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't, but I have read about his love affair of motor vehicles and Porsches particularly.
Right, so he's got a large collection of cars. In fact, I think it's like Comedians in Cars drinking coffee or something like that. But basically, he knows the who's who, and each episode he picks up a comedian in a car of Seinfeld's choice. They go for a drive. There's about 3 GoPro cameras in each car. They go for a drive, have a chinwag, and then roll up at a diner somewhere, and just talk about life. It's funny. It's
Gotta
funny.
love that.
Yeah, you'd love it, mate. I think there is one. Who's the guy? Larry David, who he wrote Seinfeld with. That's a very funny one. I digress, Daz. We're here to talk marketing, mate, and you have got a lot of marketing love to share. So here's the thing. You're on episode 2 of Small Business Big Marketing. You're on episode 49 of Small Business Big Marketing. You're now on episode, I think this is 223. Wow. And I'm guessing things have changed. What I have watched in a wonderful friend in you is just this growth, this outrageous growth, personally and just in your business. So hence inviting you back on, mate. So in order to give listeners a sense of what I'm talking about, I'm wondering if you can maybe give us a then and now type snapshot of how things have changed. And I can chat you through some categories if you like.
Sure, absolutely happy to do that, Timbo. But before I do that, can I just say congratulations to you on behalf of... No. It's going to get bigger, so just allow for it. But really, congratulations to you on behalf of all of us small business owners and wannabe marketing peeps everywhere for sharing great content that is different, it's creative, it's meaningful, it's valuable, and you just keep it fresh. So good on you for being there for episode 223, and I'm honoured to be here.
Love you, Daz. Love you like a brother.
Thank you, mate.
Now, mate, Things have changed a lot. Your marketing's changed significantly, and I'm going to pull it apart shortly. But where's the business gone? St Kilda Boat Sales? You tell me what you want to reveal and what you don't want to reveal. But I'll ask you, turnover.
Our turnover last year was combined with our boat sales and our service centre business of just under $5 million.
Okay, significantly on when you were on episode 49, it would have been around what?
Well, I think the first episode I did for you, which was in 2009, our turnover then would have been about 2.5-3 million.
Fantastic. Staff.
Yeah. Really consistent and really proud of the fact that our staff levels have remained pretty much the same all the way through the process, which means that we've become more productive and way smarter at doing things. And as such, our staff levels now, boat sales, I've got 3 people, two of which are part-timers that help me out. And I've had to delegate a whole lot of stuff to be able to spend the time doing all the marketing activities, which I really love. And our service centre's got about 5 staff over there, of which 4 of them are qualified and trained mechanics.
So your expenses, I imagine old Finkelstein had managed his expenses pretty well. They haven't gone up alongside your revenue, correct? At the same rate.
No, they haven't. We like to think we pay our staff more because they're good at delivering their end product. But we run a profitable business, Tim. Thank you.
Love it, mate. Love it. Good on you, George. And now tell me, this is where it gets interesting and leads into marketing. Number of income streams.
Okay.
And that's an interesting question because we have to talk about personal branding versus business branding too, because you've built a strong personal brand in the boating industry, and I don't know whether how does that impact on your business income and your business brand. So you explain.
Yeah, sure. So if we just rewind the clock to episode 2, June of 2009, I had 3 income streams: the sale of new boats, the sale of used boats, and our service centre. 4 revenue streams: our service centre, which is mechanical related stuff, and then fuel and fuel sales. And what we've then done now is increase that to 9 revenue streams from 5. So
I love this. This is, listeners, this is time to expand your mind. You know, I don't know, Daz, don't you think that many small business owners, big business owners, get caught in, this is what I sell, therefore these are my income streams and they will never change. But we need to look around. We need to take a 360-degree view and figure out what else could we be selling that's in line with what we do.
Yeah, look, Tim, you're absolutely right. But you know where I reckon business owners get it wrong? They sit back and they just go, no, I don't want to be doing that. I'm not interested in doing that. That's not work. Doesn't work for me. Forget about me. Let's think about what works for our customers.
Ooh.
I've got. Yeah, it's scary, isn't it? I've got these customers here, and I have increased my revenue streams to effectively those customers. So that means that I'm offering a better level of service. I'm offering a one-stop shop for all things marine, where a complete and pleasurable boat ownership experience is our focus. So what that means is we got people here. If we don't look after them, someone else is going to look after them. And these people here, I recognise, are that is our target market. That is our niche. That is what we're good at. And that's where I'm going to maximise my revenue stream from them. So
here's the thing: you might not have used the words, but you've identified the value chain and figured out how much of that value chain can St Kilda Boat Sales own. Correct?
Correct. And I built a money tree around it.
Hello, money tree. God,
hello,
money trees.
Yeah, I know. My dad always told me to go out in the backyard. You'll find the money tree and get some more money off it.
So tell me, Daz, what are the other 4 additional revenue streams that you've added?
Yeah, so we now run a boat washing business. So like a house cleaning service, we wash 70 boats on a cycle. And so we go and wash their boat on whether it's fortnightly, weekly or monthly or just one-offs. We have a terrific guy who really cares about the end result and pleasing customers. And he gets down there and gives the boat a good clean, gets all the bird shit off it and looks after it so it makes it easy and convenient for the boat owner next time. Mm-hmm. We then opened up a consulting side of our business where we consult to businesses, particularly our strength is engaging residential communities in boating. So that's like where you have a big residential complex on the banks of a marina or on the banks of a river or the bay or whatever, where there's boats outside your front window. We basically go to that community and engage them, get them psyched up and hyped up about the lifestyle and the love that boating can bring to them, the better quality of life it can deliver, and go and sell those to those people because those communities are looking at these boats every day of the week.
Yeah, okay.
The next part of our business is a speaking business where I have done the boat show circuit, and I go and talk at boat shows and talk to potential boaties about how easy it is to get in on the water, and then typically where to go boating now that they've perhaps got a boat. And then from there, I've got our book division. I've written a couple of books, and so those books need to be distributed. They're available on, in traditional paperback, and as Andrew Griffith says, it has the FUD value. So I've got a paperback version of both my books as well as e-books and online books and Amazon downloads and all that. I have an insurance stream where we sell insurance to our boat owners because, let's face it, they need to be insured, and there's a good recurring income for us there. And so all that adds up to 9 business streams or money streams in my tree.
Well, I'd add a 10th there, which is your newly found media profile as well.
Thank you, Timmy.
Dazza. Were you being humble?
Well, look, it's a bit of I was going to say humility. That's not such a word.
No, it's not.
I'm an author. I can say whatever I like.
Yeah.
No, look, it's a bit of being humble, but it's also really indicative of the fact that this is new. That's new to me,
brand new,
and I haven't yet really owned it.
Yeah.
And there is a 10th branch, which is that one, and that's proving to be really quite incredible.
Yeah, okay, well, this is where, brilliant. And this is what that's all about, is Daz has got a great head for radio, just as I have got a great head for podcasting, and he's now doing Port Phillip Bay weather reports on one of the biggest stations in Australia. But we'll come to that, because what's interesting about all that, Daz, and you tell me if I'm wrong here, but marketing your business has had a lot to do with all those additional income streams coming online. Is that right?
Look, it has.
Your hesitation there just indicated that marketing isn't responsible. I'll tell you why I said that, because clearly there's something else. But when we last spoke, you had you were doing some clever marketing. You had a webcam on the lighthouse outside of your office, which allowed people to log in and see pictures of the bay, and that built you a bit of an email list, because they had to give you your email address.
Well, in those days, Tim, I didn't even collect email addresses from them. So you gave me this lecture and reminded me of my priorities in life. And I started collecting email addresses from people, and give me your email address and you can go and have a look at the camera. And I built this email database. There you go. 6,000 people I have on it now.
Wow.
All have an interest in my market.
Okay, so then you did that, and then off the back of that you got, well, what are you going to do with that database? You very cleverly started to do a weekly video on YouTube, giving and sending it to your 6,000 strong email database, saying, "Hey, this is what the weather's doing on Port Phillip Bay this week. Get amongst that. Here's how it's going to affect your boating." So you've had weathercam, email address, building that list. You're starting to then do these weather reports on YouTube. These are kind of little steps, and then wasn't the next thing a book?
Yes, you know what, you're right. It all started. Well, boy, oh boy, I'm starting to get all teary at this, Tim, because this changed everything that I did.
My point exactly, Daz. So, what was your hesitation? Because I'm interested. Because marketing. I mean, I'm not suggesting marketing is the result of your entire success, but you've done some clever marketing, mate, and however we define marketing. Marketing's what you do when you can't go and see someone. But it's like, writing the book led to something else, and that. So, like, what we're going to say?
Oh, Tim, you know what it is? I just get so caught up in the journey I'm on. Right? It's like I'm on a treadmill and I'm just pumping this stuff out. And I actually. Right. Until you then just got me to stop and think about what it was that started it, I would have just kept on going and not stopped and recognised that.
Right.
But it is, and without
therapy
a word
session.
of a lie.
This is a George Costanza therapy session. So I told you.
But Tim, without a word of a lie, that was the moment that everything changed when I started collecting people's email addresses from the webcam, and it was your idea. Because I wasn't doing that. I was just had this webcam and offering people a free service and not getting anything back for it. And you said, Dazza, don't do that. Stop doing it for nothing. Get their email address.
By all means, be helpful. But I think there's this difference between creating art, which is what a webcam on a lighthouse showing the bay is, and asking for something in exchange, i.e. an email address. That becomes a commercial reality, and brilliant. So getting that 6,000, all of a sudden you've started to build a tribe, and this is a lot of small businesses don't understand this concept of building a tribe. That tribe could be 20 people. For you, it's 6,000 on an email list. Whatever it is, that tribe is a group of people who have opted in. I mean, that's email talk in itself, but they have opted in to receive ongoing communications from you, and hopefully it's two-way communications.
And on a weekly basis, I have very little of those 6,000 people that unsubscribe. I'm lucky if I have 10 people that unsubscribe every week, and all I had to do was ask them, and everybody, of course, says yes. So I think one of the limiting beliefs from a small business perspective is, no, I don't want to ask people to do that because they won't say yes.
Yep.
Boy, oh boy, the only reason why they won't say yes is because you think they'll say no.
Correct.
It's got nothing to do with them because you haven't even asked them.
I have at the end of each episode, Daz, I have inspirational marketing quote of the week, and about 3 weeks ago, the quote was, ask.
Yeah, oh, man.
Sometimes you just got to ask. You got to ask. And I learnt this from a guy, Steve Sims, who I had on the show a couple of years ago, and he runs this business in LA that he can basically get you anything you want. And when I asked him how he went about getting anything you want, you got to ask. He said, you will be surprised. And we've been through this, but I think it's worth reinforcing, is that you just will be surprised how many people will actually say yes when you ask for something, because everyone else is too scared to.
Yeah.
So, mate, love it. Just going back, and we've got the Lighthouse Cam, we've got an email list, we've got a YouTube channel. By the way, listeners, Daz's YouTube channel, the way he creates the videos, it is an iPhone on a tripod with a $60 wide lapel mic, buttoned on his shirt, and he just talks to. He's got his sunglasses on. I'll put a link, Daz, in the show notes to this episode so people can see. But
thank you.
You know what? My point, it's just really helpful marketing. It's not Hollywood production. Daz is sharing good quality content in order to give his audience a better boating experience. And as he does more and more, guess what? He gets better and better.
Tim, oh wow, that's so good. I've got shivers then. I was at a restaurant with my wife and some friends about my YouTube channel's now been going for about 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And we were at a restaurant about 3 months or 4 months into the, posting the videos every Thursday morning. And at a restaurant in Geelong, which is regional Victoria, out of the city. And went to the loo, got up from the restaurant, went to the table, went to the loo. Some guy stopped me and goes, "Oh, you're the boat guy." And I stopped. I was speechless. And he said, "I watch your YouTube videos. You send me one every Thursday, and I love it." Now, I took my boat from where it's normally moored across the bay as you suggested, and it was the best experience. Told his mate, "Oh, yeah, I've seen your videos." I've never been speechless about anything in my life. And
I hope other people in the restaurant were hearing this.
My wife stood there, and she sat there with our friends, and they all couldn't believe that I'd gone white. I was tablecloth colour. I was completely shocked. And, when you pump these things out, you sometimes don't get any feedback, or you get a little bit. You sort of, there's a lot of reasons why goes through your head that maybe it's getting a bit hard, maybe my message isn't right, all that sort of negative self-talk stuff. And it just reminded me that I do make a difference to people, and I just need to keep doing them. And when I don't send them out on a Thursday, Tim, people ask me, why didn't you send it out last week?
Yep.
Amazing.
Daz, lessons there is be consistent. So how many people, or you might not know, it's kind of the business that I'm in, the amount of people that I can share this kind of knowledge with and learnings with, they head off and go getting so excited about it, and like they're 3 weeks in and no one's pulled them aside in the restaurant. I'm not being literal there, but you know what I mean, metaphorically speaking. And they go, they ring me, Timbo, but it's not work. How long have you done it for? 3 videos in 3 weeks. Give it a year.
Yeah.
Give it 6 months at least. You commit to this stuff because you're being helpful, the content's good, people just take time to buy in, to connect. And part of that is the fact that they want to know that you're going to be there for the long haul. They don't want to buy into a tribe. They don't want to belong to something that they think might not be there in 6 months' time.
Yep.
And that's what, well done to you for sticking to it. Daz, what do those videos cost you per week?
So I bought bugger all, Tim. I bought a service to an email, a newsletter thing that runs off my website. Mm-hmm. How's my technical knowledge? It's right up there.
It's going beautifully so far.
Cost me $195 a month to send out an email a week to using my template with a whole lot of analysis tools to between 5,000 and 10,000 email addresses. So $195 a month for the email service, which is integrated fully with my website. And the YouTube, the videos don't cost me anything with YouTube. I run a service that tops and tails my videos for me, a cloud-based service. Cost me $400 a year for that. And I do a video a week of the newsletter, and I do 2 videos a week in boat tours. So, when I'm listing something, I'll take a video tour of it, post it on my website so people interstate can connect with my product. And so that cost me $400 a year. So this whole exercise probably cost me $1,000.
And you know what, Daz? This is where I get so excited by this stuff because it is beautifully simple, it's beautifully elegant, it's beautifully helpful. And if we were to go back, and you're an ex-marketing guy from Apple, I'm ex-advertising. We know you and I have a fair idea of what things used to cost, right? Yeah. Now, what you just explained then, imagine that 10 years ago. We're talking that's thousands. That's tens of thousands of dollars.
The camera would have cost you $2,500-3,000 for the right video VHS camera, or whatever we used to call them. Now we've got iPhones in our freaking pockets that are incredibly brilliant.
Yep. Yeah, exciting stuff. So, okay, I'm going to move forward. YouTube. What happened after that? It was it was book. You wrote a book.
Yeah, correct. I wrote a book called Honey, Let's Buy a Boat, Everything You Wanted to Know About Buying and Selling a Recreational Powerboat But Didn't Know Who to Ask. And
let's be clear here. It's 12 chapters giving blokes 12 arguments to share with their wife as to why they should buy a boat in their midlife crisis, correct?
Tim, it's just as much about the women buying the book
yes, thank you,
their
Darren.
husbands and saying, you need to connect with your family more because you're working too hard.
Right.
You need to start thinking about all of us, guys. Let's do something together on the weekend.
Love it. Love it. I take that back, Darren. I mean, how flippant of me to think that you would write a book like that.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Yeah, exactly.
In the grounds it will incriminate me. But look, really, it works for both parties.
Yeah.
So so I wrote the book, and it's the single most regular question I get asked in my boat sales office all the time is how you go about buying a boat, because there is no formal publications, and there is no process like buying a car that sort of has government regulations and the like. So I wrote that book, and in writing that book, I was able to start to answer people's questions in the videos that I was doing. So I took some of the components out of the book and made YouTube videos out of them to upload to my website to explain processes and give people a really good insight into the sort of micro components of what I do. And
okay, can we talk book?
Yep.
No Mean Feat writing a book, and your books are large books.
Yes.
Book 1, Honey, Let's Buy a Boat. How many pages?
360.
How many words?
About 60,000.
Book 2?
Honey, Let's Go Boating. 101 bucket list of boating destinations. The Victorian edition.
Right. How many words?
Oh, how many words? 120,000.
Yeah, okay.
980 pages.
Okay. Daz, can anyone write a book?
Yep.
Can they?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Really?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
You say that with conviction.
How? Tim,
how does the average listener who's listening to this show, running a business, flat out, marketing's a black art at the best of times, now they're hearing that, yep, you could be a book, you could be an author.
Yep.
Okay, go.
Okay, so the first thing you need to do is find the central question that you're trying to answer for people. So for me, let's just pick my current book, if you like, Honey, Let's Go Boating, my 101 bucket list of boating destinations. What I did was I get asked the question in my office after, how do you go about buying a boat, is where do you go boating? So in the geography that I know really well, which is the marina and the waterway that's sitting in front of my office, I sat down and literally mind mapped all the places you could go boating in Victoria, and from that mind map, and we all get products off the App Store, MindMeister, which is a cheap product. I think it's free that I used on my
mind mapping
iPad.
Software. Yeah.
You know the software?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, so I mind mapped that, and basically what I did was every branch that came off my mind map of a thought or a location. So particularly here in this location, we've got the bay right in front of my office. That's one location. And then I was able to break that down into smaller locations. The city, because we have a river running through our city. And then we have lots of bayside towns in the east and the west. And I effectively dissected all of those, broke them up. Once I broke them up, I was able to then create chapters out of each one. And then I was able to interview some clients, both past and current, as to what they like to do on the water and some of the secrets they'd like to share.
So the big one there is to identify the central question. What's the biggest question that your tribe is asking you or your industry day in, day out?
Correct. And write down what it is you probably a million times over just talk about off the top of your head, subconsciously, without even, well, consciously, but you're just talking about it. You know, you may not even be present in the conversation. It just rattles off your tongue because people ask you that all the time.
What if you can't write?
You don't need to write. Sit down and make some bullet points on each topic. And if you're really that bad and can't think about putting it into words, take all your bullet points and go find yourself off Elance or one of those sites, an editor, and get them to put the words around the topic for you. Love it. I mean, there's a whole lot of ways to skin the cat. Tim, I failed fifth form at school, right? I got kicked out of school. English was not my favourite topic. I never did university. I don't have a marketing degree. All those things went through my head. My spelling's atrocious.
How long did you carry that with you in your life, Daz, before you go, you know what, none of that matters?
I reckon I carried it with me. Well, I can tell you now, listeners, I'm 52. I wrote my first book when I was, wrote it during my 50th birthday. Matter of fact, I got up in front of my friends and at my 50th birthday speech and told them that I'm writing a book, and everybody couldn't believe themselves. They thought I'd actually drunk too much at that time. But, you know, you can do it easily. It doesn't matter. Age is not important. Time's not important either. Don't tell me you haven't got enough time to do it. You'll make time if it's that important.
Love it. That's inspiring stuff, mate, and you knocked out that second one real quick. It's always that first one of anything. First podcast, first video, first book, first whatever. First kiss, hey?
Yeah.
Who was your first kiss with?
I'm not even sure. I think it was with my hand to practice. So I wouldn't do the wrong thing if I got lucky enough. I can't even remember that.
Well, you weren't going to get a knockback. See, George Costanza would have done that.
Kissed his hand?
He would have. Would have been a whole episode about it.
Funny episode. Love to watch it.
Great episode. Episode. My point being, you're a lot closer to him than you think.
Thank you for that. Thanks for the reminder.
What was her name, Daz? You got the hand. You got the hand fixed. You got the hand out of the way.
Look, I don't know who my first kiss was.
Really?
I don't remember. No.
Oh.
Nah.
Prue Salthouse was mine.
Prue Salthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, she must have left a mark if you still remember her all these years later.
Well, I think it's just out of respect, Darren. She may well be listening to this show. I don't know.
You're probably right.
Hey, Daz.
You could be listening to this show, yes.
Dazza, what has having a book and being an author done for your business?
Oh, wow. It's a big question, Tim. The first thing it's done for my business is given me... Yeah, oh, shit, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, hell yeah. A lot. It's given me, firstly, the thought in my brain, or the proof in my brain that I've actually written a book. I now believe that I can do whatever I want if I put my mind to it.
Right.
There's no self-limiting beliefs.
Wow.
The other thing that's
significant, because that would therefore play out in other aspects of your business and your life.
Well, completely. So it's given me now the understanding that I understand how my little tree works, my money tree as I call it, and I understand who my target audience is, my core marketplace, who are the people, who's my ideal customer, and I want to focus on looking after my ideal customer. So I now look at my business through very different glasses, and I have a platform to which to whatever that next good idea is, to be able to go to that marketplace and be able to deliver a solution to a problem. And that delivery of that solution is really critical for our business to keep going. I need to find the next thing. But okay. I've got a book. I've got a 6,000 people audience out there, or person audience out there that I can deliver something to. I've got credibility. I'm an author, so I have immense credibility in my marketplace.
Am I tell me if you want to share the number or not. But you're not getting rich by selling your book. You're getting richer by having a book. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, totally. So,
okay, because this is important, listeners. Don't think, oh, really? I'm going to write a book. I'm going to sell, a couple of hundred copies. That's not going to make me rich. Not the point. You're not making money out of the cover price.
No, I'm not. And my goal from the outset, Tim, wasn't to look at the difference between a cost price and a retail price as my margin that I'm making on every book, and that's how I'm going to get rich.
How does a book build your business and make you money?
Because what happens, Tim, is that someone reads my book and then they think, that guy, Darren Finkelstein, he wrote these books. I've heard him on the radio. I've watched his podcast. I've been to his website. He knows what he's talking about. If I'm going to go and buy a boat, go and talk to Darren. Why would you bother going to talk to anybody else? And that's where the difference has been.
Okay. So how was that? Tell us about the feeling when someone has rung you or walked into your shop, your store, and said, I've read your book, now let's buy a boat. Honey.
Honey, wow! I'm smiling, and it's one of the most rewarding and fulfilling moments. And then when you move through a transaction with them, and they start quoting you off page 176, Darren, you said we need to do this.
Wow!
So will you be doing it? I assume, and I go, of course. Wow. That's why I wrote the book. Hold me accountable to my words, because my words aren't bullshit. My words are how I run. Pardon?
Do you get teary?
I don't get teary. I tell you what I still get, and I need to get over it because people really appreciate the difference that I've made, is when they ask me to sign a book.
Yep.
I just feel, I still sort of, part of me feels that, am I really worthy to sign this book?
Imposter.
Yeah.
Imposter.
And I really wrestle with that. Andrew Griffiths has sorted me out with that. And
what did he say?
Oh, he just said, Darren, that's just a really silly way, a juvenile way of looking at the exercise. You wrote the book. They are your words. They are your ideas. And people people want to listen to your ideas. They trust you. And when they have gone to the trouble of buying your book and reading your book and wanting you to autograph their book, that's a sign of appreciation of what you've done for them. And so, Darren, you just need to get over it, because you're really insulting someone if you don't.
Great advice, Griffo. In fact, on a recent episode, I had Australia's most influential personal trainer, Michelle Bridges, join me on the show, and we're talking about the moment when things started to get serious for her, and she was sitting at a cafe with a friend up near where she lives, and someone came up to her and asked for an autograph. And after Michelle begrudgingly signed it, the friend said, "You were really quite rude and abrupt." Michelle tells this story in the interview. "You were really quite abrupt." And Michelle said she just felt very humbled and embarrassed by the fact that people were wanting an autograph.
Yep.
And a friend said, "Get over it. These people like what you have to say, what you have to do. Honour that."
Yeah.
Yeah?
And look, it is about honouring that, and it's respect to those people. Forget about how you feel about the exercise. This is about someone paying $30, $40 or whatever it is for your book, and of their hard-earned money, and wanting to hear a piece of your story and understand a little bit more about you. And it's respectful to sign it.
Daz, you've sold more boats as a result of being an author ×2, but what other outcomes have resulted from those books?
Oh, wow. Look, probably the most noticeable, I mean, so in our business of selling boats, we also need to list boats like a real estate agent does with a property. And since I've had my book, I have 100% strike rate, and my book's been out now for nearly 2 years. 100% strike rate in listings when I give someone a copy of my Honey, Let's Buy a Boat, because they know that I've documented a process. They know that they can see what the process is, so it's completely transparent, and there is an incredible level of trust that has been delivered upon because I wrote the book.
100% strike rate.
I haven't missed one, Tim.
Not one. And I'm going to guess that those people all of a sudden have become less price sensitive.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Absolutely. As a result of knowing that the boat is in the right hands,
they trust
then
you.
Become more trustworthy of the service that I offer.
Just like that. Like that. How good's that?
Look, that's incredible. And it's that level of trust that, and it's the same when someone quotes pages out of my book when I'm selling a boat for them or selling a boat to them, that they start quoting it. It's that level of trust that is the real basis of...
There's so many marketing lessons here, Daz. One of the other ones that may be going missing is that when people do quote back to you the words that you use in your business, it might be terminology, it might be certain packages that you sell, it might be the way you talk about your products and your services and the concepts that go with them. When you hear your tribe starting to use those words, you know you've struck on something.
Yes.
I talk a lot about helpful marketing, and I start to see that come back in emails that I get from listeners. And I love the fact that they're using the language that I've created, but it also means that it's resonating with them. The concept is understood. And listeners, look out for those things in your business. When people are using your language, it means you've struck on something. And it's really important that therefore you continue to build on it, because that's gold. That's marketing gold right there, Dazza.
Yeah, look, everywhere there's gold, Tim. Really? Everywhere. Onward to the goldfields. I feel like I'm living in a goldfield.
Now, tell me, I'm still climbing these steps to marketing nirvana with you. You've written the 2 books.
Yep.
Off the back of that, what's happened? At what point did this media opportunity? What's the media opportunity that you now have, and is it a result of your book and your YouTube video?
Yeah, so after I doing the videos, getting them out there, the weather reports, the video reports every Thursday, getting the books out there, building some speaking gigs, doing boat show events. I've been hired by a couple of corporates to engage their property organisations to engage their residential communities. In doing that, I had an opportunity for someone at 3AW, Radio 3AW here, which is part of Fairfax Media, Melbourne's, biggest radio station, most popular radio station.
I don't build it up too much, but
to listen to one of my YouTube videos, which became my audition tape.
Yep.
So they saw my videos, and I went in there to have a chat with them about doing their summer beach and bay reports. And really this was started having the first meeting with them 12 months out, and it would be fair to say now 12 months down the track, I'm on radio Well, I've done 56 live segments with them over summer here in Melbourne. I'm still on air till every weekend, 3 times Saturday, 3 times Sunday.
How's it start, Daz? How's it start? Give us an intro. Okay, Daz, and we're cutting over to Darren Finkelstein. He's over on Port Phillip Bay. Daz, what's happening with the weather today, mate?
Looking out the window here, it's magnificent, Timbo. It's a perfect day to go boating. Forecast temperature on the bay, southwesterly winds blowing 20 knots.
Love it.
In those conditions, I'd be heading down to this marina and that cafe and getting the kids out on the water. And so basically I do that in a conversation style for 5 minutes. I can promote my book as part of the exercise, for which I've sold out of books. In the first couple of weeks of the report.
Is that right?
Yeah, sold out of books, Tim. It's been an incredibly brilliant experience, so much so that I've ordered some more books, of course, but I've been able to do some events with my other clients during the period of time and been able to plug those events on the radio, and I have people coming out to see me, as a meet and greet at the other events, and everything's all cross-pollinating beautifully.
So, Daz, I'm going to pause here because one of the things, that face. There's a concept I've kind of starting to coin. I haven't got the right words for it yet, but it's the Facebook theory, and the Facebook theory goes like this: when you look at Facebook and you see everyone having a good time, you get a bit down on yourself, right? And I don't want listeners to fall into the trap of listening to you and going, oh, Daz, he's done it all. He's got the book. He's got the YouTube videos. He's on 3AW. He's speaking. Listeners, I know Darren, and Darren is just a solid, everyday bloke. You would meet on the street and you would just think, that's not the guy, surely, with the book and the videos and the radio and blah, blah. My point is, Daz, you're doing amazing stuff, mate, and mate, continue. My second point is to the listeners, everything we talk about on this show, from a marketing perspective to grow your business, is absolutely possible, and is well within your reach, and you're probably halfway there already. You just need to have the bottle to give it a red-hot go, and that's what Dazza does. That's the point of difference. That's why Dazza is Dazza. And that's why you might be just sitting there at the moment, not ready to take that leap. Take the leap and you'll be amazed at what happens. Back to you, Daz.
Oh, Tim, you know what? Thank you for that. Can I just say this, though?
Yeah.
That you told me to go and collect people's email addresses.
Yeah.
You did a podcast on using your iPhone to take video. You drummed into my head, I need to get my website set up for video to be embedded. Mm-hmm. You know what? Yes, I've done it all. All I've done is what you told me to do.
Well, okay. Thank you. And I'll take that. But here's another learning. Sometimes people, you've got to listen. We've all got to listen. The universe, here we go, woo-woo. The universe puts people in front of us, puts podcasts in front of us, puts books. There's lessons everywhere, Daz. We've just got to be alert to them. We've got to have our radar on and just stop every now and then. Even if you're listening to this episode, why are you listening to it? What's the learning in it? Might be don't listen to another one, but hopefully it's not. Hopefully there's just a little learning, something that resonates with you. Take action. Take action. We talk about this all the time inside the Small Business Big Marketing Forum, Daz. It's the action, the willingness to fail, the excitement about succeeding that is the point of difference for so many small business owners that use marketing in an effective way,
Just got to do it, just got to do it. Writing the last book, it just about broke me in the sense that emotionally and physically, I was really exhausted.
Right.
And it's easy to chuck the towel in, and it's easy to think of all the other nice things we would prefer to be doing, but what we're currently doing or what we've committed to do. But if you work through some of that pain and that discomfort, you will actually get to a place that is it's really nice.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, Daz, I'm exhausted.
It hasn't got. Hey? It's got better still.
No, you haven't. You sure you can't have any more?
Yeah, got one more.
What is it? Do I know about it?
Well, I'm on TV
is it world
now.
first?
Got a TV gig.
Oh, you have too. I forgot about the TV gig.
So,
George Costanza.
Not a comedy show.
What?
Not a comedy half-hour comedy show.
Well, how? How did this? I think the how's the interesting bit. What is it? You're on. What's the TV show, and how did you get it?
Yeah, so the TV show is called All About Boats. It's a 6-part series going to be on Saturday afternoons on Channel 7 Mate, one of the digital channels associated with Channel 7. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to host a number of sessions there about different elements to boating. And, of course, my book's going to be leveraged into the exercise. Yeah. And that's a fantastic opportunity and really, really tremendous. How I got that is word of mouth, a recommendation and a referral. Victoria Rose, hello Victoria, I hope you're listening, was involved in had been interviewed, I should say, and she then got talking to the person who was interviewing her. The topic then moved into boats, and she said, boats, you've got to talk to Darren, he's written a couple of books and he'd be really good. And just said, Darren, why don't you give this guy a ring? And I did, and we got together and gave him a couple of books as a gift and autographed them for him. And he went away, read them, and came back to me and said, Darren, this is fantastic. And you showed him the YouTube videos, which again showed me my ability on camera and my ability.
This is the thing. Well done. Another marketing lesson. The more content you create, A, it's a way to market your business, but B, you're building up an arsenal of content to show influencers who may be able to get you a column in the newspaper or a segment on a TV show or something on radio or a guest blogger or whatever it is. But powerful stuff to be able to put a book in the post or to be able to email someone a video that you've created just shows that you are committed to whatever business that you are in. You know? Have I left you speechless?
No, Tim, wow. Committed. We are committed. You've got to be committed to it. You've got to own your market.
Well, there you go. Final lesson, own your market. Someone needs to be the most helpful in your industry, in your market. It may as well be you.
My word, because if you don't do it, your opposition will, and then you'll complain and bitch that they've done it. You could have done it better, but you had an opportunity that you didn't put forward.
I was going to do that.
Oh, sorry.
If only. Yeah, no room for if. Jump. No. Roll the dice. You roll the dice, Daz. I love your work, mate. It's been a pleasure to have you back for the third time. I can't promise a fourth time, but I feel like there probably is an opportunity down the track if this show's still going at some point.
Hey, can I have my photo up? Because, I'm the only guest you've ever had not to have a photo.
You can have your photo up, George. And see, George would want that. It's he's just all he's concerned about is getting the photo up. You can have the photo up. I'm going to put a video up in the show notes. I'm going to put a copy of your book up. In fact, let's run some kind of competition, Daz. Where
absolutely, happy to give you half a dozen books of each topic, and you can go and run a competition with your listeners.
I will figure out what that is, and put it on. I'll send it to my email list. That's what I'll do. Hey. You need to subscribe at smallbusinessbigmarketing.com to be a part of that. Daz, I said in the intro for listeners to hit you up at Think Boats on Twitter. Tell them they heard you here. They can find you at St.KildaBoatSales.com.au, DarrenFinkelstein.com. Mate, you're a media magnate. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, buddy.
Always a pleasure, Timbo. God bless. See ya.
Well, what about that, hey? Not exactly a low-energy fireside chat. I do love talking to Dazza. He has marketing gold to share. Here's my top 3 learnings from that, thanks to the very good folk at Net Registry. Number 1, more of a question. What can you do to become the go-to person in your industry? Dazza is. He's the go-to person in the boating industry. Someone has to be the go-to person in every industry. It may as well be you in your industry, okay? So write a list of things that you could be doing now to position yourself as that person. Learning number 2, don't wait for all the ducks to line up, okay? Don't wait for perfection. Get into production. Daz is into production. It's a great thing to start punching out helpful content like Dazza does and get better at it as time goes on. Too many small business owners out there are just waiting for the right time for it all to happen, and it's not going to be that way. The sooner you start, the sooner you get better at it, the sooner you perfect it and start to see results. Number 3, identify your central question. The big question that all your clients, customers, prospects are asking. Break that question down into chapters. You know where I'm going with this. And then write the book. Yeah, write that book that's inside of every single one of us. As you know, I'm doing that at the moment. Not making too much of a hoo-ha about it. I just want to do it. And I've nearly done it, actually. And break it into chapters and start writing. 1,000 words a day for 30 days. Maybe I talked about last week on the show, floss one tooth. Right? What's that about? Go back and listen to episode 222. Floss one tooth. Write 100 words a day. Then you might feel like you want to write another 100. And just little bite-sized chunks that make it easy. But they're my top 3 learnings from Darren Finkelstein. Go and check him out. He's a good fella. Let him know you heard him on my show. He's on Twitter, @ThinkBoats. Go tell him whether you liked him, loved him, loathed him. You couldn't have loathed him. And let's keep the conversation happening. Hope you enjoyed it. Righto, we're nearly there. Long episode today, hey? Hope you found plenty of marketing GOLD as we have gone along. Hey, got marketing quote of the week. It's from Benjamin Franklin, none less. And he says, either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. I do love that. Think about how that can apply to your business. Righto, as we stride to the finish line of episode 222, remember you can send me a question to tim@smallbusinessbigmarketing.com. I'd love you to leave some feedback over at iTunes. It helps build my ratings and my ego. So look up Small Business Big Marketing on iTunes and just leave some feedback. I read it all. I can't respond to it on iTunes, but I do read it all. If you want to continue the marketing discussion, head into the inner circle, the Small Business Big Marketing Forum over at crankmymarketing.com. But until next time, I've been Timbo Reid. Well, still am. Will be next week as well. I am in Melbourne, Australia right now. May your marketing be the best marketing. Bye for now.
You've been listening to the Small Business Big Marketing Show with Tim Reid. Want more marketing goodness? Then visit smallbusinessbigmarketing.com.